For EastTennesseeSports.com, he is Riley Blevins, and I'm Matthew Osborne. Today our focus will shift towards the 19th ranked Tennessee Lady Vols soccer team, as they will be leaving Orange Beach, Alabama in the SEC tournament earlier than they could even expect.
That's right, the third-seeded Lady Vols leaving way earlier than they could have imagined, as a 5-3 loss in penalty kicks to 6th-seeded Auburn will send the Lady Vols packing. Strangely enough, the Lady Vols had a 1-0 win against Auburn on October 7th of this season. That game winner came on the foot of Kylie Bono. This year, or in the SEC tournament rather, Kylie Bono's penalty kick was blocked, while Auburn connected on all 5 of their attempts on Wednesday to send the Lady Vols home. The Lady Vols never really had the motivation on their side. They were outshot 22-10 and were penalized throughout the game. 5 cards were distributed to the Lady Vols in total, 4 yellow and 1 red coming to Capricacia, and the Lady Vols were forced to battle on with the remaining 10 for the rest of the game. Senior midfielder Amy Harrison said the loss will sting for some time.
It's going to hurt for a bit, but just got to take it and turn it around. It'll take a little bit to cope, but then it's right back into it. So we're excited about the NCAA tournament.
Elimination is always upsetting, but probably a reason for most of the disappointment is because the Lady Vols are having such a prosperous year on the defensive side. Julie Eckel, goalkeeper, helming the team with a .68 goals against average, which is good enough for first in Tennessee soccer history. The group around her equally as solid, 13 goals allowed this season. The record for goals allowed previous, 18. The Lady Vols have logged 533 consecutive minutes of scoreless play. That is a school record. And while the 5-3 PK loss will send the Lady Vols packing, it will go as a shutout, moving the Lady Vols 1 shutout shy of that school record. An absolute stellar defense that Coach Brian Pensky says has really helmed his Lady Vols effort this year.
Big time. So proud again. Another 110 minutes, 42 of which are down a player. So it just speaks, and it's a team defending thing. I mean, obviously it's 10 or 9 players on the field, and then Julie, like you said, she held some balls really well and then made some big-time diving saves, and this probably drops our goals against average to about .6, in and around that, and like I said, that's one of the tops in the country, and so again, so much to feel proud about. We're just disappointed we're going home so quickly.
As stellar as the Tennessee defense has been, the offense has been equally disappointing. Lady Vols only averaged just over 1.5 goals per game. They are led by sophomore and international star Hannah Wilkinson. Wilkinson actually played this year on the New Zealand national team as they competed in the 2012 Summer Olympics, where they got defeated by the U.S. women's national team in the quarterfinals. Also starting up top beside Hannah Wilkinson is senior Alexis Owens. Owens, who actually scored her first goal of the season just before the SEC tournament, needs to be able to step up also and put goals on the board for the Lady Vols as they could try to compete for the NCAA tournament.
Of course, with that offensive disappointment and struggles, the Lady Vols season is far from over. The PK defeat to Auburn in the SEC tournament does not count as a loss and will not affect the Lady Vols RPI, which currently stands at 13th. That 13th ranked RPI will be good enough to grant the Lady Vols a berth into the NCAA tournament and should be good enough to allow them to host the opening 2 rounds of that tournament, as the top 32 teams will play host for those first 2 rounds. Returning home to Regal Stadium gives the Vols an apparent advantage moving forward, and Coach Brian Pensky says the key for his team moving forward will be channeling the disappointment following the early exit from the SEC tournament and turning that disappointment into motivation.
So we just talked about the disappointment that we feel right now and finding a way to keep this disappointment in mind as we move forward and the NCAA tournament approaches. There's nothing worse than being eliminated from a tournament and going home early. And we don't want to experience that feeling that we have right now anytime soon.
The Lady Vols will find out where they stand in the brackets, as this NCAA selection show is Monday. So make sure you stay tuned for that and see where the Lady Vols finish up. For EastTennesseeSports.com, this has been Riley Blevins and Matthew Osborne.